Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I will present about issue on national examination and minimum competence assessment. The definition of national examination and minimum competence assessment. The national examination is held to measure the competency achievement of participant graduate students at the level of primary education and secondary education as a result of the process of learning in accordance with Graduate Competency Standard or SKL. And the national assessment is a mapping the quality of education at all levels of school coordinated by the Ministry of Education and Culture. The purpose of the national assessment is to encourage students to develop the quality of the education system. The quality of the education system can be measured using three instruments. The first, minimum competency assessment. The second, character survey. And the last, learning environment survey. And next, what is the difference for national examination and minimum competency assessment? National examination, or in Indonesia, ujian nasional, commonly abbreviated as UN or UNAS, was a standard evaluation system of primary and secondary education in Indonesia, and the determining factor of the quality of education levels among the area that are conducted by the Center for Educational Assessment of the Ministry of Education and Culture. The determination standard continue to rise are expected to increase quality of education, which is the determination of educational standard is the determination of the limit value cut-off score. And the national assessment is mapping of the quality of educational at all levels of school coordinated by the Ministry of Education and Culture. The purpose of the national assessment is to encourage the student develop the quality of the education system. The quality for the education system can be measured using three instruments. And next, the cause. National examination was removed and changed to minimum competency assessment. According to the Minister of Education and Culture, so far the material for the national exam is to this, so that students tend to focus on memorizing the material and not on learning competency. This creates a stress burden on students, teachers, and parents because the national examination is actually an indicator of student learning success and individual. Even though the purpose of the national examination is to conduct an assessment of the national education system, so the national examination has only assessed one aspect, namely cognitive. Not even all cognitive aspects are these. Meanwhile, the AKM is considered better because it is not only inclined to one ability, but the whole in terms of numeracy and literacy. And next, the positive and negative impacts of being changed national examination to minimum competency assessment. Equitable educational quality, improving the quality of teacher, improvement of facilities and infrastructure, reduce psychological burden, there is justice in the educational system, more appreciating the true meaning of learning, and the last, reduce interest in student learning. So the conclusion for the title is the Indonesia Minister of Education held a renewal aim at making Indonesia better in education because it was found that the policy had not yet reached the target. For these things, we hope that education in Indonesia will be more evenly distributed and advance for the sake of creating the future the nation successor. Starting for parents who must pay attention to the children activity at home, teacher who must be more sensitive to the interests and talent of children, and the government as a program maker and provide the facilities for the world of education, where all aspects are needed for the better progress of the Indonesia generation. Okay, thank you. I think enough for my presentation. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.